Okay. Hello, hello, hello. Let me just make sure that I'm online. 1 second. Test, test. Okay. Okay. Seems like I am. Yeah. Okay. Good. So I guess we'll give 5 minutes because I'm the only person. So let's give 5 minutes for everybody to join. And in the meantime, while you are ready, I'm gonna give some feedback. So we had some calls with some of you guys from the Ghost community, which is great, from the Ghost whales in particular. Those calls, in my personal opinion, have been nothing but super positive, and it's great to form the vision alongside with all the whales, right? Because you have a very specific vision of Web 3 over Web 2. And the question is how to deliver that message correctly and purely and appropriately. Because the Web 2 is essentially the reason why, hi Prime, Web 2 is the reason for the issues, for the problems that we're having. Too much centralization here, too much centralization there. We look at the banking system, we look at the government, we look at the healthcare, we look at logistics. So a lot of those spheres, a lot of those spaces are completely centralized, and they tell us that it's all, representative democracy or whatever, representative republic, and we have autonomous regions and blah 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 blah. But a bunch of laws that come out, we are not the ones who are voting for it, and we're told that, well, it's our representatives who vote for it. But then who selected those representatives? I mean, most of us only go and select, participate in elections for presidents or prime ministers. It's rarely the case that, we go and, participate in municipal elections, for example, or mayor elections. It's very, very rare. And the statistics is just supporting it. So essentially, with Web3, we don't have to vote for a representative. We are the representative ourselves. So we can make the decisions. And due to these decisions, the reason kind of like essentially the power to the people, that's literally true with Web3. But lots of projects out there who, since Web3 is so difficult to build, first of all, it's difficult to build from architecture perspective. Is then the UX, user experience for Web3 projects, is naturally worse than for Web2 projects. So therefore, it's more difficult to onboard members onto a Web3 dApp or Web3 chain or whatnot. So it's just more difficult. That's why the valuations for these projects are so much higher. And what Web 2.5 projects trying to do, they're trying to break in and say, hey, we also Web3, we also Web3. And of course, they just define decentralization differently. For them, decentralization means, well, since we have 20 nodes, like say 20 servers doing something, then it's decentralized because we are decentralizing from one server to 20 servers. The thing is, all of these 20 servers are controlled by the in most cases. And what type of decentralization are we talking about? The decentralization is not the number of nodes per se, because I can, raise money, buy a bunch of servers from AWS, from Amazon, say 100 servers or 1,000 servers, and I say, well, now I'm decentralized because I have so many backup servers, essentially. Like I have one main server and 999 backup servers. But the thing is, the decentralization means that anybody can spun out a server. Anybody can run it without any permission, right? So it has to be permissionless. And it has to be quite cheap as well to run these servers. For example, Solana says, well, we are whatever. I'll show you what Solana is doing. Solana can say, well, we are very decentralized. We will see how decentralized Solana is, by the way. But the cost of running a server on Solana is $10,000 a month, roughly. Because the minimum requirements are so damn hard, so damn, out of ordinary. For example, if I remember correctly, it's 32 core. So 32 core CPU, right? So you just don't have those machines as your home machines or as your work machines. So you are forced to go to a provider of servers, to some type of cloud, whether it's IBM Cloud or Google Cloud or Amazon Cloud, which is AWS. And now, first of all, you have to pay a lot of money for that, about $10,000 or $5,000 a month, which is significant. So it's not available to anybody from, not every single person from Nigeria, not every single person from Indonesia, not every single person from Turkey, not every single person from Russia. It's just, monetarily able to run those servers. But most importantly, those servers are extremely freaking centralized by default, because you just can't find those machines. Like, you cannot, well, of course you can build servers like that, but good luck to you. So what you have to do, you have to go again back to Amazon, back to IBM, back to Google. And now if the entire ledger is controlled by a layer of Web 2 providers, how Web 3 are we with Solana in particular? Or any of similar chains that have massive fucking requirements for running a node, right? So, a couple of things I would like to discuss today. We have enough people to start the discussion. Good morning, everybody, once again. So, what I would like to cover today is two things. First of all, let's go over the privacy features. We ran that with one of the whale, and we're like, oh, it is really making sense to create a video, because lots of you guys don't know that Ghost has privacy features. That's our fault, so we got to change it. We gotta improve it. We gotta create materials. So 2 videos are in the works. The first video is about the valuations that we covered, and I'm going to cover this again today really briefly, because I got new numbers over the weekend. And then the second thing is privacy features. So that's going to be the second video. What privacy features do we have and why they are extremely important? So let's start with the valuation. So remember those numbers we had before? So I think we streamed 2 weeks ago. So let me just go over them, right? So I'm not going to go over the whole thing, but essentially, you guys see it, right? So essentially, we have 3 pillars, which is the number of nodes, number of daily transactions, and amount of daily liquidity, which is essentially trading fees, not trading fees, trading volume. Both DEX and centralized exchanges, SEC, so both of them. So again, number of nodes, number of transactions, and amount of daily liquidity. And what we did, I simply updated the numbers as of July 11, so 2 days ago, across these blockchain networks right here, 37 networks. Couple of things I noticed. The list of these networks has not been updated for almost 3 years now. I've been running the same model for 3 freaking years. And they tell us about, there's so many innovative projects in the crypto, blah, blah, blah. Well, how come it's the same names over the course of the last 3 years? The only name that I added, you can guess which one, which blockchain you see it right now. Which blockchain network did I add? Like that's the only change to the list. Can you make any guess? Like, if you guys can put this in the comments, I'll wait for you. Put your guesses, but there's only one name that I added to the list. It used to be 36, now it's 37 chains. So why are you guys putting this in the comments? For example, item number 92, this one, right? Old as I can remember. NEM used to be top 7 blockchains. If you guys watched the video of top blockchain, like top blockchain projects over 10 plus years. Used to be top 7 projects. Now the market cap is 122 million. Dash used to be super good. Neo used to be a killer of Ethereum. And these networks are still here. There are not that many new networks. I did finally find the data for Solana. So for Solana in particular, we have 1,500 nodes. That's extremely decentralized, I must say. And then, of course, the number of transactions is out of the blue. So while Bitcoin has 600,000 transactions, Solana has 48 million transactions. And that's a huge question, right? So it's like, wow, so Solana must be doing super well. That's a big question of whether these transactions are real or not. But again, garbage in, garbage out. If this data is garbage, I'm sorry. I have every single link to back up every single number here, right? So I just had to go by the number of transactions that Solana had, 47 million. I could be wrong about this, but whatnot. So one of the whales mentioned specifically Near Protocol. Where is that guy? Near Protocol. I finally found the data. So they have 222 nodes. 222 nodes with the market cap of $5 billion. That's very important what the market cap is, right? 22 billion. 222 nodes. They raised 250 million from VC investors. Right? Is that a successful exit? Well, probably, right? It's 20x on a piece of paper. Are they able to exit? I don't know. And the number of transactions, it's so pretty. The number of transactions, 7.8 million, such a round number. I wonder, is that real? But again, garbage in, garbage out. That's the official data. So clearly, I would, if it was up to me, I would significantly check XRP. XRP was always lots of transactions. I would check still if that's real. I would check Solana if it's real. I would check Tron. Although Tron could make sense because despite the fact that it's, a pretty beat down name by now, but the community is absolutely insane. It's great. And lots of Tether, for example, in emerging countries happens over Tron network. So Tron definitely got something, right? I would really question transactions from Stellar. I would really question transactions from Near Protocol. Algorand with almost 1 million transactions. Where's that coming from, right? EOS with 115 nodes. Impressive, right? 115. In any case, the whole point of this, finding was to update the numbers. So this column right here represents market cap divided by nodes. So how much of the market, let's assume there's no transactions, there's no liquidity. So how much market cap will be associated with one node? So I just did that across all of these blockchains, 37 blockchains. And the orange ones, I skipped. Why? Because I was not able to locate the number of daily transactions for Phantom or Quant or Waves. So I have to go by official sources. So I can only find these transactions right here. But the average number of, essentially the average market cap associated with one node is $273 million. Assuming that transactions and liquidity play no impact on the market cap. So $300 million per node, right? That's a scary number. The reason why that's a scary number is because, Stellar with 52 nodes, right, at 2.5 billion market cap, or Polygon with 225 nodes at 5 billion, right? Binance, obviously, with 11 nodes, proof of 30, and $78 billion. So some of these blockchains, by default needs to go. I'm sorry, but they do. Bitcoin SV, I'm not here against crack, right? No, nothing against, but the chain itself historically didn't have that many nodes, 100 nodes. EOS 115 nodes, Neo 22 nodes, and 700 million market cap. I remember speaking with them a couple of years ago. Their market cap used to be $3 billion. They had a little bit more nodes, but the killer of Ethereum 4 years later has 22 nodes, Dime project. So still EVM compatible. So quite a show here with this thing. So okay, the new linear regression run against these metrics, and the whole point for us to run this is just to give you guys a better idea of what is to be expected. How can you price it? based on the existing comparables from the July of 2024. So we have one node is equivalent to 11.8, almost $12 million of market cap. So you want to know that's adding $12 million to the market cap, to the bottom line. Number of transactions, every single daily transaction accounts for $4. And every single dollar of trading volume that's over DEXs or centralized exchanges, SEXs, is $35 per each dollar of trading volume. So, without further ado, this is the calculator. We will post this calculator as a separate Excel sheet. Please feel free to play with it. Change the numbers, all right? Like, make sure you play with it, like, mess with it. But essentially, if we start like with this new metrics, where's this metric right here? 21. Let me just correct it. Yeah. So with this new metrics, so what you need to do once this calculator is published, we'll publish this in the Excel spreadsheet for now. So you guys can just go ahead and insert it and insert the numbers. So insert the numbers in the blue. This can apply to Ghost chain, but that it can equally apply to any chain, right? So that's not Ghost chain, specific. That's Ghost chain agnostic. That's literally any chain agnostic. So you have Pi network, or you have whatever, the Sui network, or you have Mint chain, right? Like whatever, right? Any blockchain. You put the number of validators, you put the number of daily transactions, you put the amount of daily liquidity. You also put the number of tokens in circulation. And you get a market cap and a rough token value, which is token price, but we have to be very careful how we phrase everything. So, but essentially, you change these blue numbers, you get these ones. So let's, by the way, so which chain did I add? The only blockchain name that I added is Toncoin, since you guys didn't respond, Toncoin. That's the only one that I added. That's it. Nothing else. So they keep talking to us about, massive blockchain innovation. Oh, so many new projects are, Bitcoin is up. Must be, crypto bull run is here. There's no fucking bull run. There's nothing. Nothing is happening. What's happening is, unfortunately, the big boys are collaborating together to get as much centralization from the existing decentralized networks as possible. Because in Bitcoin, it's not visible too much, because I put this in the Whales channel. You guys probably saw that, right? So the Whales control at this point of time for Bitcoin is about 1%. The definition of a whale is any entity that controls more than 1%, 1% or more of the supply. So for Bitcoin, the number of whales is 1%, which is just one whale. So there's only one entity, and most likely that's MicroStrategy, that controls more than 1% of Bitcoin supply. For Ethereum, that number is 30%. Currently, 30%. 30% supply controlled by whales. Not bad. But just about 6 months ago, that number used to be lower. It was probably 10 to 15%. Why there was a sudden increase to 30%? Thanks to the guys of Lido. Thanks to the MetaMask, actually, who now enables you to do staking on their behalf. So essentially you can delegate staking to MetaMask or Lido, right, to start staking your Ethereum. And of course, that's not decentralized. Even Vitalik says that whole process is centralized as hell. And on the official website, they write the same thing. But many people don't care. They think, well, fuck it. I want to make my 4% staking on Ethereum. All I have to do is just put all my stake to, give it to Lido. And Lido will have to run actual physical machines on my behalf. So you guys know that that's massive risk. And they're still okay with that, because they say, you know what, fuck that. I'll be making 4% because Lido will never fuck me over. They will never screw me over. But that's not true, because it's not that they can. I'm not trying to say they will. But it's definitely a huge possibility. It's a massive security risk. It's definitely not trustless. It's absolutely not trustless. And we say, as users, as Web3 quote users, we say, well, no, 4% is more important than risk. So to us, comfort is more important than struggle. Okay, I get it. Problem with this is, by the time that Ethereum will get to say 50% of whales controlling the network, the market cap is not going to be increasing that much. Because, my argument is that the increase in market share, the increase in market cap is completely proportional to the amount of decentralization, like to the decentralization coefficient. So the more decentralized the network, the higher it is worth, because it's so much more difficult to organize a group of independent third parties to trust each other, right? By being united by one network. So the more Ethereum gets centralized, and we still believe in Ethereum. Ethereum is a really great network, really great project. But the more centralized Ethereum becomes, the lower the market cap is going to be increasing. And we see it already between Bitcoin and Ethereum. Look at the performance of market caps and prices of BTC and Ethereum in the last 2 years. Bitcoin is significantly outperforming everybody else because it still is the most decentralized network. Right? So the market cap increase is directly proportional to the decentralization coefficient, which we could also try to estimate at some point of time and also create another financial model if you guys are interested. So, on this note, the valuations are absolutely through the roof. And it's important. So lots of you guys asking, oh, what if I'm not able to run a node? Oh, like I don't have good electricity or I don't have good internet. Those are absolutely valid concerns. Valid. Totally valid. But we as a network need to figure out how to battle and how to solve these problems. Because if I put 100 nodes, just 100 nodes, 1,000 daily transactions and $1,000 of daily liquidity, the market cap of Ghost Chain is $1.2 billion. Of course, with a huge disclaimer, these results are not guaranteed, right? Future does not represent the past. This is a comparable analysis. We're not sure if this is going to translate to Ghost. But statistically speaking, that's what we could potentially expect. That's not a guarantee, that's a potential expectation. But $1.2 billion gets us to $42 per share per GMV essentially. And that's significant, right? So, and that's just with 100 nodes. Let's make that 1,000 nodes. And now we're looking at 11 billion market cap. And the question is that real? These numbers are too fucking high. Well, yeah, they are too fucking high. But guess what? So we're looking at 11 billion market cap. Look at Solana. 1,500 nodes. How decentralized is that? And also, we need to figure out, are they like the actual because it's not that all of these nodes are validated nodes. Like there's this weird thing that they have some type of DAO which has to approve every single token you do. Like it's some weird thing. Like it's not as decentralized as Bitcoin. Like every single nodes, like these nodes are not the same. But in any case, let's assume that Solana does actually have 1,500 nodes that decide everything, which is not true. But let's assume that's the truth. 66 billion market cap. Doge, 950 nodes. Let's go, right? Proof of work. As somebody mentioned, the second largest proof of work after Bitcoin, which is, I think it's true. Almost 1,000 nodes, but 15 billion market cap, right? Tron, only 400 nodes. Great project. I mean, absolutely great project, but 400 nodes. And we're looking at 18 billion market cap. So one of the networks here that is significantly underestimated is Tron. Of all of these networks, I think it's Tron. And the second one, surprisingly, Ethereum Classic. That's pretty much it. We could potentially put Zcash, right? Because we're looking at 3,200 nodes, 5,100 nodes, and 7,300. But these projects are actually decentralized. And the definition of decentralized is 3,000 people in the world running nodes. That's pathetic. I'm not saying that Zcash, Tron, or whatever is. I'm just saying the state of the industry is fucking pathetic. We need to do better than that. All of us. With Ghost, without Ghost, doesn't matter. We just need to do better. We really need to do better. Because when we say Tron, 7,000 computers out there running validated nodes, and the market cap is 11 billion, And I mean, at this point of time, that's totally, totally backed, right? I'm not going to say like Tron does not deserve to have this market cap. I think Tron does deserve it. But, that's the state of the industry, and we need to take advantage of it. So hopefully this answers the question of, should I run a node? The answer is yes. Right? So the answer is like definitely. Not just you, but now you know how once you add a friend, right? And we will enable every single whale to invite up to 5 friends. We cannot make it more. We'll make it because we need to make sure it's decentralized, right? So up to 5 friends per whale that you can invite, right, to run nodes. Because to those 5 friends, we're probably going to do airdrop. Like we're probably going to do some type of airdrop of GMVs to make sure they have a minimum GMV stake that will enable them to run nodes. So of course, if you cannot run a node, become a nominator. Right? You can still stake your stuff. You will still be staking your GMVs, no problem. But I really hope that this is a great demonstration of why running nodes is so critical, so crucial. And it's not just crucial for the valuation. Like I'm using this as valuation. Like guys, here's a carrot, but let me use a stick instead, right? So if we don't do that, then the idea of privacy. The idea of privacy-oriented, decentralized bridges that will unite all EVMs and then later on non-EVM chains could be gone because I don't see any other project that is really working on a decentralized bridge. They all claim they are decentralized, but they're not working on it. So we'll just not have a solution. And then the question is, do you want to live in a world where the only way to move from one chain to the other is via a centralized exchange? With KYC, of course. Do you want to live in that world? And if the answer is no, I don't want to live in that world, because the regulations are going to be more and more authoritarian and draconian. And the question is not about whether the regulations are good or not. Regulations are always good, right? But over-regulations are not always good. And over-regulations kill industries and make certain nations lose competitive advantage. That's what happens, right? That's why we have constant recycling of nations, because kind of simple, right? So you have 10 industries in country XYZ. Then those 10 industries used to have lots of competition. Then there's a monopoly that is naturally created, which is mainly supported by the government through government contracts and stuff, which comes from the taxes. So due to more funding, those monopolies are able to innovate. And they do. And they kill all the competition. But then what happens is, then unfortunately, once the monopoly becomes a monopoly, they lose the taste of victory and the taste of, what's the word? Well, essentially, they just lose this competitive spirit because they don't have to. And then country B comes to the rescue, and it's not overregulated at all. The reason why country A is overregulated is because monopoly lobbies those regulations, preventing competition from happening. That's how the monopoly becomes a monopoly. But the innovation stalls. And then country B comes to the rescue, and companies in country B start competing with companies from country A. And then if country B takes over, then in country B the same thing happens. At first there's lots of competition, then monopolies naturally appear, then those monopolies maybe lobby the laws to make over-regulations, so the competition cannot, jump in, and then country C comes to the rescue. And that's the history of the humanity. So regulations are great, over-regulations kill countries, kill progress, kill innovation. And question is, do we want, as a decentralized network, which is globally distributed, do we want to compete with the centralized motherfuckers out there, such as Layer Zero, such as Axelar, such as Wormhole, Ronin Network, Polychain, and all the others, right? And that's kind of the world that I want to live in. So yes, staking is important, but decentralization of the network is more important because that's how we can fight. We have a fighting chance if we have that, right? And that's a long-term project, and we're here for the vision. We're here to change the world. So, on this note, let me know if you have any questions. But if you don't, let's move to the privacy-oriented features of the Ghost chain. So, on the privacy side, let me just 1 second. So this is our fault that we didn't explain those features. We need to do that. So we explained this to a whale this week, and I think it was quite how to say. It was a lot of things thrown at him, unfortunately. So we need to break it down. So let's assume, let's hear, but we can make it. So what happens is you from Ethereum to the chain, to the gold chain. How does it? First of all, you move your 100 tether, 1,000 tether from Ethereum to the smart contract on Ethereum called Gatekeeper. It can be a validator on the Gatekeeper. I'll explain how this works. So then, those funds are stuck in the Gatekeeper. So essentially, this Gatekeeper has G G gets get people want two with all at once. Now, belong to the same universe. One Ethereum network. Now this is a ghost. Existential deposit. Okay. Test. Test. Okay. So the second Test. Okay, now it should be good. Guys, sorry for this. Let me go over everything once again, because I think we missed the last 3 minutes of it. Sorry for that. So we screwed up this. Podcast as usual. Okay, so 1 second, erase. Okay, let's go through everything once again, right? So for the privacy features. Okay. So once again, let me share the screen. You guys see it? Let me make sure you guys see it. Yes. Okay. So now everybody left right away. That sucks. Okay. So let's go. So we have 3 layers of privacy. Oh, what's this? Yeah, 3 layers of privacy when we have the bridge. So the first layer of privacy is synchronization of virtual machines. What does it mean? So you want to transfer your balance from Ethereum to, let's assume, Ethereum at the end. So Ethereum wallet 1 to Ethereum wallet 6. How this happens? You transfer your 1,000 USDT from Ethereum to the so-called gatekeeper. Gatekeeper is just a smart contract, and the gatekeeper has your 1,000 tether locked. Okay. Yeah. I think let's pause here. 1 second. Yeah. Let's maybe try to pause here for now, because the sound again is schmucky. So resume next week, and next week I will cover the actual privacy features. This microphone needs to be replaced. Apologies for apologies for those technical issues. But at least we covered the new valuation metrics, so the video will come out from there. And then as far as the privacy features, all 3 levels, we will prepare the video the week after, and we'll cover it next weekend on the next call. I think we can wrap up here. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. If not, we can finish now. I'll wait for a minute, and then we'll just pause. Okay, guys. Again, sorry for the sound. See you guys next week, next Saturday, 8 a.m. Eastern. Have a good one.